The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
Yeah.
Morning, Arsene. Can we start by getting your team news ahead of the North London derby?
Well, basically, we should have similar squad to what happened last week against Everton. Maybe Danny Welbeck will be back, and we had a few problems with Peter Cech, who is not sure at the moment. He has not practiced, so I don't know if he will be available. And Nacho Monreal looks all right again, so should be a similar squad.
If Petr Cech isn't available, David Ospina has shown in this fixture in the past, hasn't he, that he's more than capable.
Yeah, I have no problem with that, David Ospina or Peter Cech. I will make that decision tomorrow.
When you look back at the North London derbies over your time here, what are the memories that stand out to you?
The memories is always a huge passion, before the game, and the emotional state that becomes a bit more agitated. I worked with Pat Rice at the start when I arrived for many years, so he of course got me very quickly on that territory, and so overall it's always a game that is a bit more charged emotionally, because of the importance it has for us, for the fans, for everybody around the club. But this season, I must say as well, for us, it's if you look at the table, it's as well a very important game.
Pat Rice, in the past, was one of the key people who told the new players coming in about the importance and the significance of this fixture. Who takes up that role now? Do they even need to be there?
Well, the players know, and because we have many players who are here for years. But as well, the good thing in sport is that you have to find a good balance between being rational and emotional. And as much as you have to be certainly emotionally charged because of the importance of a game, it helps you to get the high energy level. Once you're on the pitch, you have as well to be calm and focused and make good decisions, and that's why you have not to let the emotions take over. And at the end of the day, it's down to making good decisions on the football pitch.
It's getting quite late to make a call on Petr Cech. Does that not represent something of a risk in a fixture like this?
I will not take any risk if he's not 100% fit, for sure, because I have full confidence in David Ospina.
You said many years ago that despite this being a local fixture, it wasn't the biggest game on Arsenal's radar during the season. Has that changed much now? Do you see this as among the very biggest games of the season?
No, it's the next one, so the next one is the biggest, and it is a big game because we are behind in the table, and we have to make some catch-up. So I must say, personally, I think it's more important mathematically for us to come back as quickly as possible when emotionally charged, because I know the importance of this game for over 20 years, but for us it's an opportunity to come back in the table closer to the Champions League spot, and that is the priority.
You have a very good record at Wembley in recent years. Could a factor like that prove decisive in a game like this?
Decisive, no. It has a little weight in it because we feel we have a good level of performances there, so we'll not feel too much away in that situation. But overall, I believe that it will be anyway down to the performance of the day.
Will the Wembley element make much of a difference? I mean, you've not played Tottenham at Wembley in your time here, a couple of games before you arrived.
I don't know. I don't think so. I just think for us it will be more to sort out the tactical problems and to be at the level of performance we want to be. We have to play our fluent football, and what Wembley gives you is a good quality of the pitch, to allow you to play the kind of game you want to play.
Alexandre Lacazette didn't get off the bench against Everton. Was that a difficult conversation, having to drop him down? Has he taken that news well? Does he understand that new players coming in mean that it's a bit more crowded in that area of the pitch?
You do not have to understand too much, you know. The phone. What you want is that everybody focuses to win the game. Is it do they start the game or not? In this game, it didn't come on because we had a problem with the goalkeeper. But overall, you do not want as well the players too much to understand why they don't play. They don't understand, and I agree completely with them. They want all to play, and that's natural and normal.
Is there a better striker in Europe right now than Harry Kane? Obviously hit the 100 mark in the Premier League.
If you look at the numbers, no. Because he has high numbers, but I believe that what you want in a game like that is to keep him quiet, and our strikers who are top class in Europe as well to express their talent.
Their manager, Mauricio Pochettino, gave some comments the other day. He said that football is about tripping the opponent. He almost seemed to be defending the acts of diving. What does someone like you make of that?
Football, I'm convinced that he wanted to say tricking your opponent is to say you have to be clever, you know. How far was it an apology for diving? I'm not sure at all, you know. I don't think he would. In my personal case, no. So overall, I must say we have to get the diving out of the game. I remember there was tremendous cases here when it was the foreign players who did it. But I must say the English players have learned very quickly, and they are maybe the masters now.
Some comments a few days ago from the Borussia Dortmund CEO saying that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang withheld performances before he joined Manchester United. Did that ring any alarm bells in your head about his character, his personality, perhaps?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, the Borussia Dortmund CEO last week said, or earlier this week, said that Aubameyang withheld performances before he left Borussia Dortmund, i.e. he wasn't giving
his hand to his best. I don't believe so. If you look well at the history, he played only one game. You know, he played. They suspended him for 2 or 3 games, one before the break and one after the break. So. He played only one game at home where they played the 2-2, I think, against Werder Bremen. So maybe was not completely ready physically to perform at his best. But I don't believe that he didn't want to perform.
Just finally, from me, just looking at the Riyad Mahrez situation, do we have to accept that that's the modern game now, that is within the gift of a modern player, or would his conduct possibly make a leading manager, leading coach, leading club even shy away from signing a player who's displayed that kind of conduct?
No, you want the clubs to behave well and the players to behave well. In the case of Mahrez, who I know a little bit the story, I wouldn't like to come out on that because it's very difficult for me to assess what's happening in a different club. So overall, what you want is the players to behave 100% professional and committed to the club. And I wouldn't like to assess the situation at Leicester. It's not my job to do that.
Arsene, I know you just said that you think diving is something that we need to get out of football. And, I mean, do you actively tell your players not to dive?
I don't tell my players to dive, you know.
Do you tell them not to dive?
Not to dive, yes. I don't encourage them to dive at all. But if you look at the situation, I think when sometimes you do not want to provoke a dive as well, and sometimes you want your players to be intelligent, they play a little bit with the rules, they make more of it. On the penalty case, that's a little bit, every striker will do that, you know, they extend a little bit the rules. Where is it, how far can you go? That's down to the referees and to the, I think sometimes at normal speed, it's very difficult to determine, I must say. On that front, as much I can be harsh with the referees, on that front I'm quite tolerant with the referees, because when you watch a game live, it's very difficult at 100% pace to distinguish was it a dive or not. Most of the time, when the players go into a goalkeeper, they push the ball away from goal. I think they had a good rule in England when I arrived here. When a striker pushed the ball away from a goal, they didn't give penalties, because the only resource the striker has after is to look for a penalty, you know. And in many cases, it's like that now. The guy goes in with the goalkeeper. The keeper has the hands off, but of course the guy leaves the leg as long as he can to make sure that the keeper touches him. But it's not really a penalty.
The North London derby on Saturday, is it? You said you're a little bit behind Spurs and Liverpool and Chelsea. Is it a must-not lose game? I mean, we spoke last week about your away form.
It's more want-to-win game. We want to win this game, and we want absolutely. We have a good opportunity, and we want to take it.
I think nearly all of your players would have had some experience of playing at Wembley, but some, like Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, will be their first experience of a North London derby. You've already said it's different to any other game, but in terms of trying to keep their emotions in check, how will you do that?
Just by focusing on the performance and on our team play. We want on focusing on how we want to play the game, tactically and technically. And once the game has started, these guys have experience. They've played top-level games. You know, they know what is important, and they know that the most important will be to focus on the performance.
Finally, I'm sure you've done all your homework on Spurs, but the Newport manager had a little dossier that got leaked this week, and apparently Juventus asked for the dossier on the Spurs weaknesses. Are you going to ring up the Newport manager and maybe ask for that dossier as well?
Yeah, I will call him straight away when I come out of a press conference.
Arsene, with the arrival of Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, have you noticed that the team dynamic within the dressing room has changed, and if so, how?
It gives always a new hope, you know, to fresh players who come in with their talent. But the most important will be the team performance. I just spoke in a different interview about Mkhitaryan. He came in, his first experience was at Swansea, was not very positive. After we played against Everton, it was very positive. So that's what you want, is to have a positive history. And then at the start it gives you a swing upwards, but after it has to be backed by their individual performances and by the results of a team.
Last week you said that you were going to try to find internal solutions to improve your defence. So have you found those solutions to be able to stop Harry Kane?
Answer on Saturday, you know, where I can talk and talk and talk. At the end of the day, it's the numbers that will show that. And the best way for us is to have the ball. It's the best way to defend, and to take the game to them. And after that, when we don't have the ball, to defend as a team.
And lastly from me, when Pochettino arrived in this country 5 years ago, a lot of people were saying, who is he? And similarly, when you arrived in this country, you had Arsene who.
Yeah.
Have you been surprised by how quickly he has settled into life in the Premier League and how successful he's been?
Yes and no, because I think always when a manager comes in that certainly the club has done his homework, and that he has some talent, and he has proven that since he's here. So he has done a good job, and that's what you want. You wish every manager who comes into the game, who comes into the Premier League, to bring something special, and to be capable to survive in a world that is quite very harsh and very demanding.
We sort of touched on the Wembley record already, but you've won the last 9 games you've played there. What is it about Wembley that seems to bring out the best?
Well, it was always very important games for us, you know, and vital games, and that's why the focus was there. I don't. Is that special linked with the players? No, it's just linked with the fact that at Wembley you play big games where you you are under pressure to perform, and we responded every time well to it.
Did you prefer to play this game at Wembley rather than White Hart Lane then?
Yes, because we have a positive history there, and of course, Wembley is a pitch that is of quality, a stadium where you have a big crowd, and there's always a special day in your mind. So overall, yes.
You've spoken a lot about the away form and it not really been good enough this season. You mentioned earlier sort of tactical issues with that. What have you kind of identified as the problems away from?
Overall, we lost games with 75% possession, at Swansea, for example. So I believe that we had not the same comfort, maybe, because of a negative history. At the start, it was a bit linked with bad luck, bad decisions. I speak about Watford, West Brom, where after that, of course, you questioned about your away form. And overall, after that, it affects you, because we lost the last 2 games away from home. At Bournemouth, we were 1-0 up. At Swansea, we were 1-0 up. And when you look at kind of mistakes we made, I'm quite optimistic, because I'm sure we will not repeat that eternally.
Just finally, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan, have you got any doubts at all about throwing them into a game of this magnitude, sort of this early on in their Arsenal career? Or are you confident they can deal with it?
I think we are in the middle of a season, so these guys are top quality players, and why should they not repeat that kind of performances?
Arsene, can I just ask you one about Mkhitaryan? There were a few people talking on Saturday before the game about how in one of his first training sessions some strikers stayed behind for some drills, and Mkhitaryan volunteered to put the balls in rather than a coach doing it. Is that good character and attitude you've seen?
He's a professional, he's a very professional attitude, yes, and overall I think that's what you want from every player. I'm not surprised by that, because I find that absolutely normal.
Thank you very much. Take the mics out, please.